make dealers' lives either easier or obviously more profitable. Um, and we came across this company Trnsact here earlier this year. And actually, I love the way we came across them. And it's one of our customers who was using their platform, and they were telling us what a great job it did. So obviously that got our interest up. So we went out and reached out to these folks, and through a series of events, we're able to come together and create a very nice interface between our system and theirs, and we think it really solves a great issue with our customers, with the dealerships, and interacting with your customers. So in that regard, I'll turn it over to Mike Pringler, our VP of Operations here. He'll talk a little bit about our interface, and then we'll let Ross at Trnsact talk about the product itself.
Hi, thanks, Chad. So good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, as Chad alluded to, that we worked with Trnsact. As everybody knows, we're out there working with folks and building these integration points and trying to streamline your business and kind of bring some best of breed processes to the dealership and to the end users, your customers. And think that the HBS Trnsact integration is kind of one of those. In working with Trnsact, we are taking kind of a crawl, walk, run. But I think even in the first phase of the integration is a very nice integration point. When you go into unit sales and fill out a customer and save a quote, you are given the opportunity. You'll notice a button at the bottom of unit sales to send application. So you just simply click the link, send application. It will pre-fill the customer's email that's in ECI, or you can put in your own email address, whatever email address you want, and hit send. That sends the customer a email with a link. The customer clicks the link, and it opens up Trnsact and starts the application process. Whatever information that we have inside of the HBS system, we will pre-fill. We're passing all of that information over to Trnsact, and we're starting to pre-fill the application for the customer. So it saves the customer some time, gets the dealership, gets the credit app out there in the customer's hand very quickly, and ties the quote to the credit app. Additionally, if you just have a customer that you're just wanting to send a credit app to quickly, we've added in Insight at the very top, kind of up where we have the messages and shipping addresses, those icons. You'll see a new icon added that says send credit app. Click that, and once again, the exact same process. Little modal opens up, customer's email address is pre-filled for you. You can either change it or accept which one's in there, hit send, and that'll fire off a link to the customer immediately to start the credit app. So very, very quick, very easy, very simple integration. But you know, as things go, some of the nicest things are very, very simple. So we thought this was a very good solution. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ross Stites at Trnsact and let Ross kind of tell you a little bit about Trnsact and what they do for the dealership community.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks, Chad, for the intro. My name is Ross Stites. I'm a program manager here at Trnsact. Trnsact is what we consider to be an F&I system for heavy equipment dealers. So think about how things operate in consumer businesses like consumer auto, right? They've got a process that enables them to have a customer walk on the lot and leave that day with that vehicle, right? Financing, everything included. We're taking some of those best practices and moving them to the commercial side. So enabling dealers to manage the full F&I process in one central system. So when you think about all of the personas that are participating in this process, right? On the dealer side, you've got the credit folks, you've got salespeople, you've got sales managers, you've got the lenders or your OEM finance companies that you're communicating with, and then you've got the borrower, the guy that wants to buy the equipment and needs the financing. Our system brings all of these personas together to help you complete the finance transaction. So where this all starts, right? Secure digital credit application. Trnsact will help the dealership build a credit application that is multi-purpose. That means from the dealer's standpoint, this application will serve any need that you have. So whether the customer is looking for financing, they want a credit line set up for parts and service, they want to rent from you, right? Any of these scenarios where you would need to send the customer a credit application, we build them all into one, what we consider to be smart application that will take that customer through their desired path. So that application can be used for anything that you need internally on the dealership side, and then can also be used by any lender that you interface with, right? That at the beginning of the process brings a lot of efficiency, both from the dealer staff as well as the borrower, right? The borrower no longer has to go and complete multiple credit applications for one transaction. Within the Trnsact system, everything that occurs will help the dealer to protect the customer information and be compliant. So how you receive the customer data, how you store it, how you send it potentially to third parties, all of that is managed within Trnsact and helping a dealer to be compliant. With regulations that came into play earlier this year, this is something that should be on every dealer's radar, right? How are you managing customer information, right? What are you doing to protect their information, and then as well the dealership from any type of breach or instance? We help the dealer to manage that full process. So anything you're doing within that F&I process in the Trnsact system to enable you to be compliant, to protect that information as well as the dealership. Lender automation, workflow automation, these are all things that we can assist with on the dealership side. So enabling a dealer to pre-screen a customer's credit to determine the best lender to send that to. Our system enables that. That can be done via automation. So hands off, it comes in, it gets pre-screened and set to the appropriate lender. It can be done in a scenario where the pre-screen makes a recommendation, and then the credit or finance person goes ahead and makes the submission to the appropriate lender. All of this can be done within our scorecard module. This is something that's very powerful because what it does is it enables that customer to get to the best fit lender the fastest, right? No more having to send them to multiple lenders to ultimately get to that offer, maybe a few hours later or a couple of days later. This will get them to that first lender, the best lender based on their profile, and ultimately get that decision back to you and to the customer to help you to close that sale faster. So part of what our system also enables with these types of scorecards is helping a dealer to manage their own risk. So obviously you're sending customer finance requests out to lenders. The lenders are doing that on their side. But what about from the dealer's perspective, right? So if you're offering any type of credit to your customers, right, whether it's a credit line for parts and service, credit line for rentals, we can help you to manage that process. We have access to all credit reports, so Experian, Equifax, TransUnion on the consumer side. We also enable business reports such as PayNet to be processed through our system. And not only can those reports be accessed, but we can also help you to build out scorecards based on that data. And all of this, based on the dealer's preference, can all be automated. So at the same time that you're receiving a customer credit application, you could also be receiving all the reports necessary to screen and then determine next steps with that customer, whether it be internal or to the lender of your choice for financing. So that's part of what's shown here in this slide is helping helping dealers to route customers to the best option. This can be a source of automation for smaller dealers that don't have the staff to manually go and touch the applications. For others that have a built-out F&I or credit department, our system can make recommendations, and then that credit or finance person can go and move that customer application securely to the lender of their choice. Now, what's also tied into this is when you start getting into OEM programs. A number of our dealers carry multiple lines of OEM products. And with those products, they each all have their own subsidized financing specific to that OEM. We can take those rate sheets for those OEMs and incorporate them into our system so that you and your team can easily present quotes to your customer based on the product, based on the specific rates for that month, that quarter, that year, based on the model, whatever those items are. We can take that specific pricing from that OEM and help you to generate quotes in the system. So no more having to try to remember, what does this OEM offer, right? Is this equipment suitable for this program? That can all be brought into the Trnsact system, where the system can help you to determine who qualifies, and then based on who qualifies, what proposal can be presented with those terms. We help dealers to go and embed financing everywhere that they're communicating with their customer. So obviously your website, right? Having links on your kind of main finance page, having links to apply for financing on your specific inventory pages, right? Any place that a customer is coming and looking at your product on your website, there'll be an easy way for them to click to apply for financing. The credit application offered by Trnsact is mobile friendly, so they can open it up on their cell phone, tablet, computer, anywhere that they can access the internet and go through that application process. Here you see some examples of what that looks like, right? Different types of finance buttons. You've got payments as low as buttons, right? We help to structure this in a way that's most beneficial for each dealer, and really what they're looking to advertise for. Most importantly is that your customers coming to your website and they can see anywhere they go that financing is available, and making it easy for them to go through that process. Here you see an example of what this can look like on your sales quotes. So, right, goes back again to any place that you're interfacing with the customer, making sure that they're aware that financing is available and giving them access to that credit application. So we've talked about the application process itself. The Trnsact system offers the dealer a central portal where all of these applications are managed and processed. So your staff will all have access to the system. They'll all have access roles based off of their need. So that means they get to see what kind of falls within their realm. Salespeople will see their specific opportunities assigned to them, Credit people will be able to see more. They'll be able to do more. All of this is role-based, including security parameters. So only certain people will be able to see sensitive customer information, and those are the people that actually need to do something with it, where others will be limited as to the information that they have access to. But it brings the full dealer staff into one system when it comes to the F&I process. So everybody works through one centralized system. Part of what our system enables is secure vaulting of documents. So with every customer or every opportunity, all documentation pertaining to that opportunity can be uploaded and stored securely within the Trnsact system. So no more having to use a shared folder or saving it on a desktop. It's all saved within the Trnsact system, and that's all securely stored in the cloud. Our system has integrations with e-sign providers. So if there are documents that you use or send to customers on a regular basis and want to be able to do that all from one system, do it through an e-sign provider, we can enable that. So when you think about, internal documents, rental contracts, for example, right? Easy way for you to generate those contracts and send them to your customer. Once they're signed, they come back into the Trnsact system and stored into that customer file. So just an easy way to incorporate those internal documents into the full process. One of the key features of our product, our system, are the notifications and workflow automation. So as things occur, that sets off other actions that need to occur following. So, when an application is completed by your customer, your salespeople are notified of the application, but your credit and finance team are also notified of the application because they're going to have steps that they need to do to process it. So, and as that application continues through that process up to funding, there are other notifications that occur which set off other workflows. And these are going to be specific and customized to each dealer's use case. So the nice thing about everything you see here with Trnsact, this is all newer technology, which enables us to customize a lot of what you see here to meet each dealer's needs, right? Some dealers may need one thing, some dealers may need a lot of, notifications, a lot of people to be notified. They may have, 10 finance managers involved. Our system can help to manage, route all of that so that the notifications occur as the dealer needs them. And then the workflows that need to occur are starting at any kind of different stage change that occurs within that process for that customer. So for customers that are using Trnsact, dealers that are using Trnsact, what is to be expected from changing to kind of the old manual process to a system like this? Improved experience, right? That experience is both on the customer side, the dealer staff, as well as the lender side, right? All parties involved should see an improved experience from a Trnsact system because of the efficiency that we can bring to those processes. Compliance. That's one of the big outcomes of working with Trnsact. Helping dealers to manage customer information in a secure way where it relieves them from the burden of them having to set something up to do so. So our system enables the receipt, storage, and transmission of customer data securely. That is one of the key outcomes of adopting a system like Trnsact. helping to expedite the sales cycle, right? When you think about selling a piece of equipment where financing is involved, right? Every part of the process up to the completion of the financing, we can bring efficiency to, starting at the credit application, right? Online form that will always have the information that's necessary for the specific dealer to take that form and move it forward. So you're never going to have to go back to the customer and say, we need some more information, or we can't read what you've written on a piece of paper. The application is customized per dealer to make sure that the dealer is getting the information they need each and every time. Salespeople, right? They can spend less time in trying to get a credit application from their customer and get it to the credit department and following up, checking in what's going on with that, right? Our system enables that application to come in, digitally notify their credit and finance team what they need to do. It'll be notifying the salesperson of updates to that application, but they don't have to actually do anything in that process. That helps to free up their time to go out and find new customers. What should these outcomes lead to? Ultimately, it should lead to increased revenues for the dealership, right? We give you an easier process for your customers to complete credit and finance applications. That should help to increase that flow. And then your team, your staff, the ability to process those applications faster, to get decisions back to your customers faster, to help them buy that equipment as soon as possible, right? We want to take what may have taken, days, weeks in the past and shrink that down to, we have dealers that are out there closing deals within 24 hours, right? So that's the time from the application received. Their team's processed it. They've secured financing from a lender. That whole finance process completed within 24 hours. So it's kind of, fun slide here is, what may have been kind of the norm in the past, right? A lot of stuff done manually, paper driven, email driven, right? Having to spend days maybe searching for the correct lender or appropriate lender for a customer. Our system helps with all of that. There's no more customer information that's sensitive, that's going back and forth in an email. From a dealer's perspective, that's a risk that's not necessary. We provide tools that enable that to go into Trnsact and out of Trnsact securely. So helping to protect the dealer as well as the customer with their information. From a dealer's standpoint, the F&I and credit process today is not something that's typically done within one system, right? You may have to log into multiple lender portals. You may have multiple people working in their email inbox to manage this process. Maybe at the dealership, you've got an Excel document that you go and track these applications on, right? Here, we're bringing all of that into one system that your whole staff can go into and access. It's easier from a processing standpoint because everybody can get into an application and do what they need. When you look at a dealership from management standpoint, management can go and run reports, right? See pipelines. You can see everything that's going on in one system. It makes it easier to manage, both from a customer standpoint as well as a staff standpoint. Also makes it easier for you to forecast, right? Being able to see that pipeline of business in one central view. So our typical dealer customers fall into really four industries. We've got construction, agriculture, trucking, and then material handling. These are a number of the OEM dealers that we work with today. This is continuing to expand as we continue to kind of expand our customer base. But why this is important, right? All of these different dealers that represent these OEMs all have different needs, right? A John Deere dealer is going to have different needs than a Peterbilt dealer. Our system can accommodate all of them. So when you think about, your business, right, and the uniqueness of your dealership, our system can adapt to suit those needs, right? What I would say kind of as a takeaway, it's last slide here for this, as a takeaway for everybody listening to this webinar, you should leave here with questions, right? Those questions should be, well, what are we doing today? What does our process look like on the dealership standpoint? Are we compliant, right? How are we managing customer information, customer data today? And the people on this call may not know it. You may not be involved in that kind of day-to-day process of customer transactions. So that will lead you to ask those questions of those that are involved, right? And find out from them, what are you doing today? What are the pain points in your current process, right? What can be improved? And by asking those questions of your team, of your staff, what we would like to do at that point is have a conversation, right? Where do you see weaknesses in your current process? Where are you looking to make improvements? Whether it's from an efficiency standpoint, whether it's to make sure that the dealership is being compliant. We'd like to have those conversations and kind of go through that discovery with each of the dealers on this call, and see if it show some more details, specifics about our product, and see if it makes sense to look at a system like Trnsact to help you manage that process. But that would be, from my standpoint, that would be the biggest kind of takeaway from something like this, is you should all have questions, right? And seek to get those questions answered. That may be first internally asking those, but then trying to connect with myself and Trnsact to go through some of this, what you saw today, in more depth. So thank you, HBS team, for allowing us a few minutes to chat on our product. We are excited about our partnership with HBS. I think there's great synergies between the HBS product and Trnsact, and what we can do together to help our dealer customers. But thanks again.
Ross, thank you so much. And I absolutely agree. I think our two teams, our two products line up very nicely together, and really finishes off that last mile to bring the sale home for the dealers, so that you guys can get that lending, get that sale done quicker, easier. It truly is a great product. And like I said, it was recommended to us from one of our customers who's using it. So that's a real world statement right there. But Ross, again, thank you so much. We're looking forward to working with you in the future. And for anybody who has any questions, don't hesitate. Reach out to Trnsact or reach out to the sales team here at HBS, and we'll get you in touch with the right folks. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.